At some point in your life, you've heard of fairy tales. You know those stories when you were a kid, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood. But did you know that fairy tales was for adults? And we're going to explore one of these tales in its full potential, the Ugly Duckling. So once there was this group of ducks taking a swim, but one duck is sitting on her eggs waiting to hatch. Then an old duck happened to walk by and said, "How are you getting along? This egg will not break, but you should see the others. They all look like their father." That never shows up. Let me see that egg. Ah yes, it looks like a turkey egg. I got cheated the same way once myself, and they hate swimming. Leave it, and foster the others. That's kind of messed up. "No, I'll just sit on it a little longer," said the duck. Soon the last egg hatched, but the duckling was large and ugly. The old duck looked at it and said, to find out if this bird is a turkey, I guess I'll push it in the water myself. So the next day, the whole family was swimming on the canal. The old duck, impressed with how the ducklings can swim, even the ugly one. "Alright kids, I will take you into the world and introduce you into the duckyards. Just make sure no one steps on you, and stay away from the cat." The other ducks looked at them and said, "Oh look, more mouths to feed. As if we're not enough of us already. And look how ugly that one is," and bites him. But it gets worse. The poor duckling, rejected by everyone. Even his brothers and sisters were mean to him. "I wish the cat kills you." Even his mother said she wished he had never been born. Sheesh. The ducks pecked him, the hens beat him, and the girl who fed the chickens kicked him. So he flew away. So the duckling flew to a moor, which looks like this, where he remained the whole night. "Hey, what are you supposed to be?" He looked up and saw two wild ducks in front of him. "Damn, you're ugly. But that doesn't matter, as long as you don't marry one of our family." He only begged permission to lie there. Then, two wild goose comes in and says, "Hey, you're pretty ugly. You wanna come with us to another moor? We can hook you up with some geese, and maybe..." A gun went off all at once, and both goose were dead. At the same moment, a large dog passed near him. "Oh, thank God. I'm so ugly that even the dog will not eat me." He fled as fast as he could and found a cottage. There, an old woman, her cat, and hen found the duckling the next morning. "A duck? Well, I hope it's not a drake so he can lay eggs. I must wait and find out." So the duckling was allowed to stay for a few weeks, but there was no eggs. The cat and the hen started asking questions. "So, can you lay eggs?" "No." "Can you lay your back and purr?" "No." "Well then, you have no power." So the duckling sat alone, accepted the fact that he's ugly, but there's something missing in his life. It's almost as if he wants to go swimming. So he goes up to the hen and says, "I want to go swimming." And the hen is like, "You could just leave anytime you want." So the duckling left in search of a new home. The book later states that he survived the winter and was almost killed by a family trying to eat him. Okay, just kidding about trying to eat him, but instead the husband brought him home for no reason. So he's back in the water. After bitten by ducks, pecked by hens, and suffering during the winter, he sees a flock of migrating wild swans. He's excited, but he cannot join them because he believes he's too ugly and they will kill him. But it didn't matter. He'd rather die by them than anything else. They saw him and shot forward to meet him. But then, he saw his reflection beneath him, his own form, no longer a plump, ugly gray bird, but a beautiful swan. And so, the other swans came to greet the newcomer and accept him as their own. The end. Yep, he was a swan the whole time. The moral of the story, don't judge anyone by their looks and accept them for who they are. Psst, more like ditch the haters and don't trust the goose.